Hi everyone, so we're just out at the superb Lindholm Lakes today. I'm joined by Dan from Shimano, and the purpose of today's visit is to take a close look at this family of Shimano Aero poles.
Yeah.
Now Dan, I've been lucky enough to fish with a few of the other Aero models, the Pro as well, and just genuinely don't have a bad thing to say about any of the poles. They are,
Thank you.
yeah, they are brilliant, really good bits of kit, and in fact the Pro was one of my favourite poles that I've fished with to date, without a doubt. Not just saying that because you're here, genuinely that's how I feel. Now obviously these share a lot of the same features, don't they?
Yeah, they've got all the same features as the high-end poles, and we've tried to filter that down onto these.
But interestingly, these are made on a different mandrel to the Pro, aren't they?
Yeah, so because we've changed the carbon to suit the price points, these are on a different mandrel to the Pro. However, the interchangeability across the range will all fit in. And also the top kits, if you had a Pro and you decided to buy a power margin, all your top kits will fit. So the interchangeability of top kits is still there, but the compatibility is for the family. Yeah.
For me, and I think probably for many people out there as well, that's a big selling point.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't want to have to carry kind of two sets of kits for that and a set of kits for that. It's just too much and it's a bit complicated.
It is.
You've kind of taken that out and kept it simple with this.
Correct.
So these four poles here then, let's have a look. How would we say this? These are the more competitively priced end of the Aero pole.
Yeah, exactly. They're designed to do a specific job. So if you started with the X3 there, that's a 14.5 metre pole. Yep. The balance and everything is designed for it to be a 14.5 metre pole.
And that's the thing, each of these has been specifically designed to fish at that length. And I've noticed, because we've been fishing with the X2 a little while earlier, and the balance of the pole's lovely, but it's because they've been designed to use that.
So the way they've done it is the way we put reinforcements in, it changes the balance in the pole. So when you're using a 14.5 metre pole, the balance point when you take it on and off the roller, just so much more smooth, and you don't think for the price that it is that you're getting that efficiency. And like we said with the X2, when you pick that up, again, the balance point in it is different to the X3. Yeah. So again, it's just all about efficiency and having the stiffest and sort of strongest pole, but still having that sort of good balance, because sometimes in poles, when you go down to these price points, you lose that balance. So that's the main sort of stay point, is that it's stiff, responsive and well balanced. Yeah.
And so with the X3, you're getting 14.5 metres.
Correct.
And a really nice comprehensive spares package as well.
Yes.
Moving on to the X2, which, as I mentioned, the one we fish with, this comes at 13 metres specifically, doesn't it?
Yes, that's what it's designed for.
Now this is going to be for kind of anyone who doesn't need to go beyond 30 metres, and that's the key here really, isn't it? If in your fishing you don't need 16 metres of pole, then maybe one of these here ticks the boxes for the kind of right length of pole that they might want to use. Yeah. Again, sharing all the same features, but this one's coming in at 13 metres and a little bit less money than the X3. The X3 is kind of the most expensive of these four, isn't it?
Working down into the X1.
And then we've got this beauty here, the X1.
Yeah, as I say, this one is designed at 11.5 metres. This is for the guys that don't want to fish much longer, mainly fish down the margins, mainly fish short. And it's also for the European guys, where they have sort of pole length restrictions. Yeah. So it tailors and ticks the boxes for both UK and Europe.
Yeah. And I know this one's good. I've fished with this, the Aero Power Margin. Yeah. This thing is unbelievable.
It's definitely a fan favourite.
Yeah. So when we went out to one of the press launches, we were lucky enough to go along to that and pick this up, and straight away you could just feel how good this was. I mean, I think this is coming in around 250 quid, something like that. Yeah. 8.5 metres. But this could be just as good for fishing short, fishing down the edge.
Yeah. It's got some serious strength to it. But again, the balance of the pole just makes it feel a lot better in hand and everything like that. So
yeah, and if you had one of these and one of the other Aero poles, then your top kits and your sections are all compatible, aren't they?
Within this family, yes.
Yeah.
If you had like an Aero Pro and decided to buy a power margin, your top kits will interchange. So if you needed that extra strength, if you're fishing at a place where like Meadowlands or Larford, where you needed a bit more power to your pole, then this is the one that you pick up and use. So
yeah, so nice little family of four poles here. What we're going to do, we're going to get back in the box and we're going to fish with this one. Yeah. Try and catch a few for the camera. So we're on the box now. We're just fishing the X2 at the 13 metre length, just slapping a pellet. Let's talk a little bit about the lake here, Dan. 'Cause I know this beach is one of your favourites here at Lindholm, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it on this lake. It's just a bit different to the others. It's got a good mix of everything.
Yeah. There's some real big fish in here as well, aren't there?
Oh, some monster carp in here, but it's also rigid with silvers, rigid with F1s.
Yeah. I couldn't believe how busy. I mean, obviously we're here on a midweek day and it's packed as well. I mean, all the lakes are busy and people catching plenty of fish here for sure.
Oh, all the lakes here are fantastic. So I think that's why it's such a busy complex.
Yeah, kind of got all the facilities, and the fishing's top notch, isn't it, as well?
Yeah, and an on-site bar if you need it.
Yeah. So this pole then, we're at 13 metres and we're just pinging some 6mm, yeah?
Yeah, just pinging some 6mm. Like I said, the mix of the fish, you're catching F1s, you're catching carp, so it's a bit more slapping a pellet, pinging a few 6s, because there is a lot of smaller fish in here, so if you change to 4mm, you're not quite targeting the better fish.
Yeah. And like a lot of venues at this time of year, I mean, you know, slapping a pellet's a good way to approach a lot of places, isn't it?
Exactly.
Let's touch on a few of the features that we've got here on the pole then. Just one just out there then. So let's talk about the finish first of all on this pole, and kind of how it was designed to make it really easy to ship.
Yeah, so I say it's got a smooth ship finish, which enables you to ship nicely onto your roller.
Yeah.
And it's effortless in and out, and obviously that's when it's wet or dry or anything really.
And that's the key as well, isn't it? Because you're fishing in the rain sometimes, the poles can become almost sticky to the touch, can't they, because of the weak carbon weave and things.
Yeah, and exactly, and that leads on to the next point of like the aero joint. So it's on both the male and the female part of the sections. And obviously one of the main things is sections getting stuck or working the way apart, and the idea of the aero joint is to combat that. So they've got longevity because of like the build-up of the carbon. It just stops it sticking and also stops itself from working apart.
And leading on from that, Dan, we've got the joint alignment system, which in my opinion is one of the most important features on a pole. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it just aligns the spine, it just creates a pole so it's more responsive when you're using it.
Yeah.
And it just makes the pole just a little bit stiffer and everything when it's longer lengths.
Yeah, I also think one of the other good points about the alignment is that, you know, when you're slapping a pellet like you are today, the joints can work a little bit loose, and it's just kind of a visual indicator, isn't it, as well?
Yeah.
There we go.
Latched into a nice Lindholm F1.
We could talk a little bit more about this finish, couldn't we, as you just bring the pole back? Because I noticed myself, again, having fished with these poles, they are really beautiful to ship.
Yeah, it just runs nice and smoothly through your hands, and it just makes it just more efficient when you're fishing.
Yeah. Looks like a typical F1 stamp for Lindholm.
Yeah, a good 2.5 pounds.
Doesn't take long to build a weight of those up, does it, when they're coming thick and fast?
No, and as I say, it's always coupled with a couple of carp and stuff here, so.
Yeah. So that's what's so nice about lakes like this, where you've got such a mix of species. Latched into a good one, Dan.
Absolute monster.
That's ripping off.
I mean, here you just don't know what the next fish is going to be.
It is exciting fishing, isn't it? You know, in this sort of thing, fishing shallow, and it's straightforward and simple as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I've just got a little dibber float on, 18-inch deep, 6mm pellet in the band, and nice simple fishing.
Yeah. And I know here at the venue that, you know, like the overshotted rigs dominating a lot of the matches here, isn't it?
It does, and I say this is why this is one of my favourite lakes, is because this is the one that is a bit more traditional and it doesn't dominate.
Yeah. There's a lot of tension this one as well, you were saying.
Oh, there's lots of everything in this lake. Oh, I'm going to have to chase him.
While we're playing that one then, let's touch on the top kits, because this family of poles, they only come with power kits, don't they?
Yeah, so it was a decision that we decided to do, because the poles are so powerful that it seems silly to include match kits. So all the poles come with power kits.
But you can buy match kits separately?
Yeah, so all the aero top kits interchange, so you can buy anything you like to put on there.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're doing. And they all come pre-bushed, don't they?
All come pre-brushed. The reinforcement band for you to put your own puller in.
Yeah, which obviously you've done on this kit, as we can see.
Yeah. Which people prefer, because they like to put their own in.
Yeah, of course. everyone's got their kind of preferred, whether it's a roller or just a straightforward side puller bush.
And again, this is the other reason I like this lake, is because they're just so fit.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, I think it's time of year as well, because I was fishing a match not long back, and the fish are just relentless, you know, so hard fighting.
Yeah. Even the smaller ones put up a good fight. I mean, this guy's not particularly massive, but...
Giving the pole a good workout. Giving the X2 a good workout, eh?
Exactly. And the top kits it comes with are the super power kits, and they're just so strong.
Yeah.
So you can put any sort of elastics in that you want.
Yeah, even 20 pluses.
Up to 20 of
Up to
these.
20, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they probably could go a little bit more, but I think it's nice to put a sensible rating on them.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's good to know that the tops can be laced up with kind of anything that you want to use.
And I think with these commercials now, like, I don't know how many year old is Lindholm, but all the fish are just getting bigger and bigger.
Sure.
And again, I think that's why you need these power kits that are so strong to deal with these.
Yeah.
It's not only that, you're catching such big weights these days that you need something that's going to stand up to the test of time.
Yeah, I think you can underestimate how much kind of force and pressure goes through the pole as well, can't you, when you're playing big fish and, like you say, big weights as well. That's a cracker.
Stunner. Yeah, as I say, not particularly massive, but so fit.
Right, and Dan, my turn.
Show me how it's done.
Well, no, I don't think that. I do know, however, that this pole is good because I've already fished with it today. We've already been fishing with it this morning, so I know how good it is. Just ping a few 6mm in. Like we were just saying though off camera then, I think it's important that if you've got a budget, you know, most likely have got a budget when it comes to buying a pole, the choices you can make, so you can either purchase a pole and a margin kit if you're going to need one, or group all that money into buying maybe a more expensive pole. It really is down to your kind of personal needs, isn't it, when it comes to what you're going to need for your own fishing.
Yeah, I feel that we've got that now. Now we've got two separate families with the top kits interchanging.
Yeah.
Things like that. You can kind of piece your own Shimano poles together and make it work for you and tailor it to your fishing needs.
So yeah, I think it's so much about deciding what you want and what you need in your own fishing, isn't it? You know, because you might not need to spend as much money as you think you need to spend, because I mean the performance that this X2 offers is, well, it's brilliant.
Oh yeah, exactly. And that's what I've tried to do by incorporating the best sort of balance, rigidity, strength and things.
Yeah.
You know, at certain prices. So it just offers their angler more pole for the money.
Yeah. Like if you didn't want to go past 30 meters, or the venue you're fishing you didn't need to, this is the perfect pole.
Yeah.
Got one, Dan.
Exactly. Nice. Carp as well.
Snuck one on. It looked like a mirror then.
But like the responsiveness of the pole at 30 meters is so nice and crisp. So even if you're fishing for F1s or carp, as this one looks like.
It really is, honestly. I know people say, oh, you only say nice things in reviews and all those sorts of things, but the thing is, what's the point in reviewing bad kit? These are brilliant tools for the job. I'd much rather tell someone about how good a pole like this is and why they should buy it than kind of review something that no one's really going to want to buy, you know?
Exactly.
What elastic we got in here, Dan?
I think it's the 12 to 16 MAP.
Seems just right for this.
Oh, it's perfect.
Yeah.
When you're catching bigger F1s and carp and stuff.
Yeah. I want to go under the bank, this one.
Especially on beaches, you don't want anything too light because they're crazy.
Like you say, there's like, what, 15, 18 pound fish in here as well.
Oh, there is some big fish.
Beautiful day to be out doing it as well, given the thunderstorms and hail we've had recently.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a perfect method to fish. Slapping a pellet, catching some F1s and carp.
Yeah. And the thing is, with all these being power kits, the thing is they don't feel unbalanced. You know, on some poles, when you put a match or power kit on and you feel the difference, the power kits just change the balance of the pole, don't they? And they don't feel quite right.
Yeah, well, the power kits that come with all these poles is the same ones that you get on the X5. And in that sort of level of development, I spent a lot of time in getting the balance of the weight and the strength and everything just absolutely spot on. So when you are fishing at longer lengths, it doesn't offset the pole, it doesn't feel tip heavy.
Yeah.
So you've still got that recovery, even using a power kit that you can use a 20 elastic in. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty remarkable, really. It's, you know, they're definitely made for the job. Let's hold this one up then, shall we? Have a little look at this one. Mirror, I was right, it is a mirror.
Stunner.
Smaller than the common you had, but welcome all the same.
Perfect in miniature.
What I want to do, Dan, is I know you've got some short number 3 sections for this pole as well, so I just want to pop one of them in,
yeah,
and just feel the difference between that and the standard number 3, because I know it does make a significant difference.
It absolutely does, yeah.
So let's slip this one in the net, and we'll have a little go at that. So lovely feature about these poles, obviously you can pick up this short number 3 section as well. About half the length of a standard?
Yeah, about that, mate, yeah. So what it does, it enhances the taper towards the top end and just increases the responsiveness. So when you are fishing for them shy biting F1, silverfish, anything like that, you can just pop it in and the pole just recovers pretty much instantly.
Yeah.
And like we were discussing, the pole itself with a normal number 3 in feels amazing, but let me show you, when we put this short number 3 in, it's an whole different beast.
Yeah. Let's get it in the pole then, eh? Let's put that one down there. I must admit, I am a fan in my own fishing of kind of short kits and short 3s. I know people say, well, of course it's going to be better because you're not fishing the same length, but the way that taper stiffens up the pole,
yeah,
it really does improve.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And as I say, like the carbon that we use for these poles to keep the price point that we do, by having this extra section, it just changes the dynamic of the pole completely.
Yeah. I know I'm going to feel the difference straight away, because obviously with the standard, the point is, it's not in any way bad with the standard number 3. It's just that maybe you're fishing to an island and you wanted to have a specific length. You know, a short kit's good, but I can feel it straight away. Slapping this rig over, the dynamic of the pole's different.
Yeah, it just stiffens up straight away. Just by having that enhanced taper a little bit further down the pole, it just increases that responsive nature.
Yeah. It's so stiff. So stiff. And for, you know, X2, it's certainly not the most expensive in the range either, but I'd be perfectly happy fishing with this, you know, in opens or anywhere where you need to fish.
Well, during the development, that's what I was doing. I was the best way to practice or test these poles is to bring them on matches, because then you are really putting them through the paces, and
yeah, sure,
several opens with them just to make sure they are right, and you can compete using one of these as well as the top end poles. So.
Yeah, definitely. You, certainly at this length you wouldn't feel at any disadvantage, not at all. That's another bite there, Dan.
Yeah, so you can see with a shorter 3 section in, there's a little bit less action in the pole, but it still plays fish lovely.
I think because we are slapping the rig today, you can really feel the difference between the two. Like I said a moment ago, it's not in any way to say it's at all bad with the normal 3, because it genuinely isn't. It's just that half the length of the number 3 is always going to stiffen the pole up, isn't it?
Correct.
And as I said, personally in my fishing, I do like short kits and short kind of sections as well.
I think that's a lot of people's preferences nowadays. Yeah.
Nice Lindholm F1 to wrap up the session there, Dan.
Yeah, fantastic, mate. We've had a lovely day, haven't we?
Sure have. Blessed with the weather as well. Just put this top kit down and we can have a little look at that one. There we go then, Dan.
Lindholm's finest.
Nice Lindholm F1 to finish the session. So that's it for this one, Dan. Thanks for bringing the poles along to show us. You know, they've been absolutely superb. And obviously a big thanks to Lindholm for the brilliant fishing as well. If people want to know a bit more about the poles, where can they find more info?
Yeah, so there'll be a lot more information coming on the Shimano socials and obviously through match fishing as well.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay guys, thanks very much for watching. Catch you next time.